Hey guys! Wow, keep it going for that first act. I'm not that athletic at all. Like, I got tired just from watching that. That's how out of shape I am. But yeah, it's cool to be here. We have a lot of guest performers, and I'm really excited to be your first performer. My name is Will Eisenberg, like they said, and I do like cliff jumping and snowboarding, but not at the same time. Recently, I was actually, last winter that is, I did some skiing. It was a ski race. And at the very end of the ski race, they had just a stand where they gave out beer to all the skiers. And isn't that just like the most Wisconsin thing ever? Beer after an athletic event? Yeah, it's great. Anyways, I'm Will Eisenberg. As I said, I'm a local comedian. I'm local, free-range, grass-fed comedian. So, a bit about me. I'm single. Any of you single? Where my single people at? Make some noise. No? Am I the only one? I'm the single person here. That's great. No, I'm single. I'm single by choice. Not my choice, everyone else's choice. Still single. I actually went on Tinder recently. Anyone else know what depression feels like? I did meet this, I saw this one girl, this one profile. She said that she wanted to be treated like a princess. So I said, all right, I can do this. And I gave her a poisoned apple. It could have been worse, you know. I could have like kidnapped her and sang about the colors of the wind or something. So that's bad. Don't laugh at that. Yeah. So I did finally met a good girl. She's really great, really smart, really beautiful. But the only problem is that she has standards. I've never met standards before. Never any kind of standards. I know what I want in a girl. I only look for two things, really. She needs to accept me for all my flaws and imperfections and love me the way I am. And number two, she has to be perfect. That's all that I care about in a girl. But no, so I went out with her. We had a really nice time. I told her that she looked beautiful. She told me that I looked like I should be an actor, but as an extra. I said, yeah, I do have a very non-distracting face. Whenever I walk into the club, all the girls are like, well, hello there, background. Then she goes on to tell me that I look really handsome in sunglasses, which is a nice way of saying that I look handsome with a third of my face color. Which means that I would look really sexy in a welding mask. But I know what I look like. You know, I'm not gorgeous, but I'm not hideous either. You know, I have a six-pack, kind of depending on the lighting. And it sort of starts out well-defined, but as you go lower, it's like I'm running out of toner. Like I'm running out of toner while I'm toning my abs. The point is, what I'm trying to say is that you have to be, it's good to be self-confident, but you also have to be self-aware, okay? Recently, I saw this friend from high school. She posted a meme that said, guns don't kill people, dads with pretty daughters do. First of all, way to make a national debate about gun violence into something about how pretty you are. And second of all, your dad's not killing anyone, sweetie. You are not that pretty. But I go out with this other girl, and we went to see a very nice romantic comedy about that clown that lures children to their deaths. And I don't mean Ronald McDonald, although that clown has done a lot of that. No, I'm talking about Stephen King's It movie, about the monster that will shape-shift into the shape of your worst fear. And that's cool for kids, you know, if their worst fear is like a werewolf or a vampire. But I don't think that monster would be really like that much of a threat to me. Like what, I'm going to be dragged into the sewer by responsibilities? Ooh! Or strangled by commitment? No! But there's a lot of scary stuff. I'm concerned about a lot of stuff in the world. Climate change is a big one. We've heard a lot about that. But we're doing a lot to fight it. I really like those eco-flush toilets where it has two different types of flush depending on how much water you want to use and save. And that's good, except I always get the flushes confused, like which direction. And so just to cover my bases, I always wind up doing it both ways, just to be safe, just to conserve water. And I also like, you know, recycled materials, reusing stuff to make new stuff. I even bought one of those shopping bags made from recycled material. It says on the side, you might have seen these, on the sign it says, I used to be a baby seal. Yeah. It's awful, don't laugh at that. Anyways, where was I? Climate change. Yeah, so like, I am concerned about climate change. I would do anything to fight it except change any of my personal habits or lifestyle. That's where I draw the line. They're like, oh man, the ozone is on fire. We have to do something. What should I do? We need you to drive your car a little less. I'm good. The ozone's fine. Nah, see you later. Yeah. But politics is crazy. No, politics is tricky. One of my good coworkers, he's a Trump supporter, but he's anti-gun. And he believes in global warming, but he's anti-vaccine. It's like someone made a Sims character and set the political views to random. It's crazy. It's like Google's I'm feeling lucky for politics. But you know what? Good for him, I say. Because you shouldn't let your views be determined by one particular party or by what makes sense or whatever. You should just do your own thing. Which is why I really respect the anti-vaccine movement. Okay, hear me out. Because that is a bipartisan rejection of science. You know, it's both sides working together for pseudoscience. You have your, tinfoil conservatives over here, like, don't you know that the vaccines are making the frogs lesbian? And over here you have the hippie, free-range vegans who are like, don't you know that vaccines kill transgender polar bears? Whatever their thing is. But even though they totally disagree, they will come together and they will stand up for measles, and then they'll sit down for polio because they can't walk anymore. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you very much.